Okay. We've got a lot to talk about, Jan. We have
We've
a
got
lot.
a lot to talk about.
Yeah. So we left off last time, and Victoria Principal, God love her, had just suffered a miscarriage because JR pushed her accidentally or on purpose. We're not
Mm-hmm.
sure. Pushed her off of the hayloft. And that's where we left off. And then when we picked up, my goodness, we have a two-part barn burner with Gary. What do you have to say about
All right,
Reunion 1
Gary.
and Reunion 2? Those are the episodes we're covering first.
Okay.
Reunion 1 and
Okay.
Reunion 2.
First of all, I think Gary is really cute.
I
I,
agree.
I think he's the most handsome of the brothers. That's why I'm hoping he's Digger's son.
That's our theory. That's our theory.
That's my dream. But what dummy again? It hit me that the women on the show, with the exception of our malevolent Jr.,
Yes.
the women are the smartest ones on the show.
Which is a radical contrast to the
Mm-hmm.
rampant misogyny that is
Mm-hmm.
in this show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
And it keeps coming up because Val called it. She listened to JR and she called it, and Gary didn't listen. And then
Yep.
the milk got spilled.
Well, and that's their misogyny. You know what? That's an interesting point. That's their misogyny coming back to bite them in the butt because the women are telling them, like Pam warns Bobby about some
Mm-hmm.
things, and yeah, Val warns Gary. Nobody wants to listen to the women, and then lo and behold, they're correct, and they get their comeuppance for not
Mm-hmm.
listening.
And even Jock seems dumb to me. I mean,
I know.
his character is the least interesting to me. It's very, I don't care. And so,
I was kind of hoping we're ahead. If I say this, but whatever. I was kind of hoping he would just die in the
me
hospital.
too. I was ready.
I was ready. I said my goodbyes.
Because I want Miss Ellie to have more life. So we see we see the two wives, the two outsiders are the smartest. And Miss Ellie is pretty savvy too.
Right,
And I noticed that she never stands up to Jog, but
right.
she just goes around him.
She does. And I think that was a very common kind of thing at the time because I've seen that
Mm.
trope in other movies and TV shows. I also think like occasionally she does stand up to him, especially
Mm-hmm.
Gary. But the way she stands up to him is very like, we're not doing this. You know, if there's not a lot of
She,
fanfare.
she said, no, we, in the very first episode, she said, we don't talk about business at dinner or something
Right,
like she,
right. She just shuts it down, and then everybody goes, okay. But they sure as shit talk about breakfast at business at breakfast. Every time they're having breakfast, they're talking about business. I guess it's dinner.
they're either talking about business or babies. So in this one, Pam has recovered.
Yes.
She's she's recovered, and she I'm starting to like Pam better because I'm seeing her have a backbone.
Yeah.
This was the first episode where I thought, okay, Pam, I see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
She didn't she gave a little bit of attitude about Jock. She wasn't forgiving instantly.
Yeah. Of how he
And that
treated
was
Digger.
good.
But honestly, and last time this is fun because we're probably gonna like go back and forth. I was Team Pam last time because I really liked how she was handling Lucy, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I was a little like, okay, Pam, like you're gonna be all mad at the whole family when like your dad is a grown ass man.
I know.
Like, look at the choices he's making. It's not like Jock punched him in the face, like
No, that guy Digger is useless.
useless.
Jock is useless. Digger does not deserve any protection.
Thank you.
The one character I wished I could see, being a Cliff fan, I wish Cliff had been at the barbecue.
Did you not think we're totally jumping ahead, but I don't care.
That's okay.
Did you not think that Sue Ellen and Cliff were gonna get it on when they met on the street?
Oh my gosh.
That was the
Oh
most
my gosh. That, I mean, we can, and I it was so good. So we patch up and then we send Gary away.
right.
He
Okay.
just leaves. What did you think about the milk spilling scene? What did you
Okay.
think about that whole thing?
Okay. So I was thinking like Gary is Gary would do very well in 2022 because he's like a really kind of like he gets triggered easily, you know?
Mm,
He gets triggered.
see.
He he has compounded trauma. Like he would benefit a lot from the buzzwords of 2022 as like a language to use, you know? Yeah, he's like
He's a fuck boy.
yes,
He is a
yes,
fuck boy.
yes,
He's
fuck boy.
passive. He's
He's
Miss
passive, but
Ellie loves him the most. Val loves him the most. Lucy loves him the most.
he's
For some
also like
reason,
an asshole. Like
yes,
because here's the thing, like boyishness goes a long way. Hello, Michael J. Fox. Boyishness goes a long way, but at the same time, like when that makes it impossible for you to be a grown ass man, you're like, what? So yeah, he freaks out because they spill milk on his papers and they're trying to like navigate it and mitigate it and make it better, and he just freaks out on them. I thought that was very like flat like war flashback, you know? So here's the thing that I don't quite understand though. What is his big trauma? Is it just that
oh,
JR is an asshole?
and haven't they all known that for forever? Is I
Yeah.
thought he was the favorite of Miss Ellie, so I'm
Mhm.
sure he was protected. There's no trauma there. I don't know what his. I mean, it seemed to me that his trauma was having to have a regular job.
Yeah. To me, Gary seems very like poor little rich boy. Um,
Hmm.
and I know we're supposed to feel sorry for him because he's the black sheep, but like, here's the thing: talk about bad writing. They've given three different, and they're just little details, but they make a big difference. They've given three different accounts of how he and Val split up and left the ranch.
That's right. Three different ones in a very
Right.
short amount of episodes. So I
Exactly.
can't feel anything.
Exactly. So I don't know what Gary's backstory is because they keep contradicting themselves. The first backstory about the departure was the one that Lucy gave Pam. And she said, and granted, Lucy was a baby and she's getting it secondhand from who? Maybe Ray. But
Right.
because nobody else would tell her. But the backstory is that Gary was drunk and he married Val when she was like 15 and pregnant with Lucy. And then he started drinking and
Mm-hmm.
beating Val, and Val left him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tracked her down, stole Lucy, kept her from getting her in a court battle, and Gary just left the ranch. The second story is that um, Val and Gary were in love. And this is what Gary says when they're reunited in the beginning, that Val left the ranch, I guess because JR pushed her off. And then Gary couldn't take being there without her. And then he fell into a bottle after she left. Now we're back to Gary left first. And then after he left, because he wasn't there, and that's the point that Val makes about, well, Pam can make it as an outsider because Bobby's with her. Once Gary left, they
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any use for Val and they ran Val off. So I can't get a handle on Gary's pathology because they're not settling on
No. And I was ready for him to go. I had no stakes in them getting back together. I'm tired of Val's bad grammar, can't lie.
I'm tired of Val's eyebrows.
Tired of her eyebrows too.
She
Do
looks
something. Her eyebrows, her grammar. Nobody
yeah.
else has that grammar. Digger doesn't even have that. Ray
Well,
doesn't talk that way.
Well, I feel like the whole point is she's supposed to be that, like, that justifies why they were so down on her. She's like supposed to be from the wrong side of the track. So her grammar, yeah, but I can't. She looks like Trisha Yearwood, who was in it, like in a kitchen fire.
Yeah, she
Like
does.
where are your eyebrows? And I'm not trying to be mean. Like
The makeup,
beautiful
they
woman,
have makeup departments on the show.
beautiful woman, but I don't know if it was a fashion choice. I'll have to look at.
We have to look and see if that was a fashion choice. I'm not sure either.
I can't say anything because I was coming of age in the late '90s, and that was pluck, 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 and
Mm-hmm,
your eyebrows look
mm-hmm.
like sperm. You've got the big one in the right here, and then
Yes.
like tadpole brows. So I can't say anything. But damn, it's like a half an eyebrow. Commit, like either shave the whole thing off or give it like fill it in. I don't know what's
Nope, no,
happening.
the other women don't have that look. So it makes me think it's an
Yeah,
individual thing because the other women don't have that
it's
look.
but maybe so. Here's the thing: I need to do some homework. Is it a choice, Joan Van Ark, or God loves
Yeah,
you? Do you have some sort of like? Is that your eyebrow
I'm going to
situation?
feel terrible if
I'm gonna
that's
feel terrible.
with
We won't put this.
apologies.
We won't put this in the final video if it's real. But if it's a fashion choice,
Yeah.
we're gonna roast her because she does. She looks like Trisha Yearwood, who would like in some sort of fryer catastrophe,
It's so weak. She just has this weak
washed out.
persona, washed out. I guess that's supposed to be the lower class waitress thing because they never give us a clear picture of how far on the side of the tracks Digger Barnes is supposed to be with Cliff
No,
and Pam.
and
Cliff went through law school
yeah,
somehow.
Cliff and Pam are like, they're pretty well to do considering, and then Digger is just some sort of like maniac. And then, but here was my favorite. My favorite. So here, Gary leaves in the daytime, and Val's like, I was just coming to sleep with you, and now you're gone. So
Oh,
Gary's leaving, but here's the thing that's so funny to me. Gary's leaving because he can't take the pressures of business. He leaves in a gorgeous three-piece suit with a briefcase. That's all he's taking with him. Like, why are you dressed like that at sunrise? Like walking into the
I know.
nothingness.
I thought that too. That's what? Is it like prison where they let you keep a good suit of clothes or they give you a suit of clothes to go out on? And it was so bright daylight.
Yeah, why is she in her nightgown? And then, JR, you're gonna and then so she doesn't take the money, but then I guess
Mm-mm.
JR makes it look like she took the
Yeah.
money. He writes a canceled check or whatever. Yeah, whatever. But I was glad when Lucy slapped him because Lucy and JR
Yeah.
are the most similar to me. They're both conniving.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy and JR have common personality traits. And when she slapped him, I was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And of course, everybody else just stands around.
Yeah, because they all know. Here's the thing with JR that's so funny. They all know his stink is on it. They don't even have to know what he did. They're like, JR, that's got JR all over it. We don't know what he did, but we know that he did.
And the show would be unwatchable without him.
Mm-hmm.
It would just, no other character is interesting, really, except for Lucy. I agree with you because
Yeah.
they're the connivers and they're driving everything.
Yeah, I find Pam to be confusing more and more because I know like I was on Team Pam. But here's the thing, we haven't even talked about Morgan Fairchild yet.
Now, did I miss her?
She was in the old acquaintance episode. So
Oh, okay, I got you.
very
Yes.
last, and
Yes, 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 yes.
yeah, she has the kid, and she was the one that Bobby like almost married. She's
Yeah.
busy sewing her own. So, and then Bobby, what the fuck? It's the middle of the night. What are you doing? So here's the thing that made me like, man, I was disappointed in Ellie and Pam. So Bobby's just acting a fool, running around with Morgan Fairchild at her house. She's in a robe. Um, all of these different things. And he's acting like Pam is just being a jealous bitch. And so Pam is, hanging out with the horse and she's standing on the fence. And Ellie comes up to her. And I think it's supposed to be this galvanizing moment. Like, she's like, if you want him, go get him. And
Oh, yeah.
like, I will. And I thought that was so like, No,
Come
like
on, Ellie.
why do you want him and fuck him? Like it's not any sort of like I guess it is though, because she had to do some sort of she mentioned she had to do something similar with Jock, but like I just thought that was disappointing because Pam was very like, I'm not gonna play that game if he doesn't want me, then you know, it was nice. It was like an uncommon, empowering type of so
Mm-hmm.
it's not even that Ellie suggested that. It was like the music swell and like, I'm gonna go get my man. And we're supposed
I
to be like,
agree.
yeah, we're rooting for her. At that point, I'm like, fuck you both.
I feel the same way. Fuck you both because why is Bobby this golden person that they all are trying to keep their men? So they're all trying to do that. Yeah, I no.
No,
No,
and
no, 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 no.
here's
No.
I
And
don't understand why are they like how come Bobby hasn't been run out? If JR is gonna treat Gary that way,
I know
why is Bobby still there?
because Bobby is Jock's favorite.
That's true.
He's what is it in King Lear? Is he Cordelia?
Yeah, that's true. That yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's the favorite. We don't know why he's the favorite, but he
I
is.
guess
He
he
got a
informed
carousel for his birthday. We know that.
oh my god. But you know how Jock is Jock wants to be on the ranch. I thought he was
Mhm.
gonna have a heart attack and fall off the horse. That would have been so much better.
Well, here's something for if we had written it moment. I thought I glanced away at the beginning and it was a helicopter shadow,
Yeah.
but it was the something was over him or
It was
something.
the helicopter that was helping them like keep track of the stray cattle.
And I heard the words, "There he is." I thought they were talking about a cow. I think I thought there was going to be a poison dart in Jock from those, and then later I saw those yokels, those salesmen. What
Like maybe
Brian Dennehy in the copter? Because I heard that at first, and then I went, "No, that's crazy." But that crossed my mind for just a second. Like, is someone out to get Jock? I hope so,
I
but
hope so
no.
too, but no. I you know, 'cause I don't know ranch life, but I now that like after it went on for a minute, I realized like, oh, I have seen like clips of this in some context. So yeah, they're helping like herding. It's basically like the helicopter's a giant border collie. So but like but but at first I didn't get what the helicopter was doing either. And I was like, or is that like the FBI from the hearing? Like are they about to like raid
The hearings are gone. They don't even watch TV anymore.
I know. I thought they were just like that was gonna be like the raid, you know, and they were gonna, you know, the Ewings were gonna have trouble, but no. So Morgan Fairchild, that whole episode seemed very like Tina Louise to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
they just wanted an excuse to put Morgan Fairchild, who was a big it sex spot at the time. They should have cast Brian Dennehy in that role because he was better in the
better
robe and
better
those
in the
hair towels.
robe and with the hair, and we need a new spin on Bobby.
Yes, exactly.
He used to go to a different side of Dallas.
Yes, yes. Every guest starring role would be better played by Brian Dennehy.
And I think
It's not gender specific.
I'm going to give the Brian Dennehy award to one of the awards to the guys who played those two salesmen in the heart attack episode.
The ones who came into the hospital room or the ones that kept showing up to argue with JR.
I think I liked that hospital room crew.
I think there were three of them, and they were just they're just acting like they're at a bachelor party, and the poor nurse is like, "What?"
Oh my god, monsters!
Monsters. Like he's kind of another, yeah. And here's what was weird too about that episode, like. So JR is cradling Jock. It looks like a real human moment. He calls for the paramedics, but then he like there's the intimation that he intentionally took him to the bad hospital.
Yeah, that was weird.
And he didn't call the doctor, and they wasted precious time. And now he's got these like gremlins who are trying to take the oil. And also the intimation is because they make that joke about, did you forge Jock's signature? And he's like, that's not funny. So
I
like
think there was even some music behind that, like, oh, okay.
I guess we're supposed to think
I
he
guess he
did.
did
I
there
guess
in.
he did. So now that's shaping up, and it'll probably happen in a season or four where JR has forged these documents, and the ranch part, which is Miss Ellie's baby, because that was her family's business, the ranch part is going to get dug up for oil drilling. And I guess that's to come. And it's because JR forged the signature on that red file, which somehow magically changed folders in the safety deposit box.
Right.
And those vultures know that he has that document.
And I think that he must have kept a forged copy in that safety deposit box.
Yeah.
And he went to get it and put it in the red folder, you think? I guess the red folder. I don't know. Or he acted like it had always been in the folder. And I thought he was going to push people off that tower. We were on a tower. They were outside. And at first I thought, is he going to throw somebody off?
Yeah, so far, JR just does really mean things, but he hasn't gotten like
Yeah, no.
that like he's not Jafar, what's his name? Scar.
He's not Scar yet. You're right. Scar would have pushed Scar pushes you off.
Yeah, he's not there yet. But it's shifting up. Like I think about Mufasa and Scar with Bobby and JR a lot. Like how's that gonna end up? But sometimes I feel like Bobby should get pushed off. Like
I think in my list of favorites, Bobby is on the bottom for me.
I liked him in the beginning, but like every time he has a chance to like be a man, he's just like no. And his like I want to go into construction. Like what? Why? Just why can't you work the ranch? Why like
And did you just love Bobby with the map, though? I kind of love the whole map scene.
And the blueprint thing that
he had a blueprint. He was writing things on a tablet.
Oh my
God.
Then
the map had to be put away. I was like, I love all this map acting. Look at this.
I love the Patrick Duffy School of Map acting.
I do too.
I loved it too. I loved it when it was all crinkled and he had worked so hard on it. And he shoved it to the secretary. He's like, put this away. I'd be like, where the fuck did it go?
And she kind of looked like she just was like,
We don't have like a map cabinet. Like, where's the cartography? Like, what do you put it away? Like, this is huge. Like,
and he looked so excited. He was finally doing something.
I know. God, he's like a mimbo. That's like yeah. So we've got all that going on, and then we've got Morgan Fairchild, who just like won't commit to saying who the baby's father is, and she wants him to think it's his, but she won't answer the question straight out. JR's fingers are in everything, but at no point are his fingers ever more into. Oh, and by the way, Bobby kissed Morgan Fairchild as he didn't. Fuck you, Bobby.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Kissing is cheating. It's like on the spectrum.
True.
It's on there. It's not all the way, but it's on there.
Yeah, you just got married. I mean, we're not excusing that. No. Just because you're Bobby.
No, thank you. But you don't get a get out of jail free card just because your hair is permed.
So, do you think that JR, it's too bad he's the only one of the boys who, I mean, he's a horrible man, but he acts like a man and makes decisions. It's weird. Yeah. He's the only one that makes decisions or takes actions. They're terrible actions, but he's the only one. It's kind of strange.
JR is confusing because every now and again he'll do something like when he sent that baby's mother to California.
All right, we have to jump to that episode. That whole episode.
I can't. I was dying. But so he sends that baby's mom to California, and he's just like, "Yeah, I did that, and this is what I did." But other times she'll be like, "JR, did you such and such?" She's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like, I wish he were more. I kind of liked JR like in spite of myself, because what the fuck is Sue Ellen doing? And like she's lost her damn mind. And then when he sends the woman to California, he's like, damn right I did. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's done.
I was kind of on JR's side
For that, I
for
really, that
that.
was, I'm hoping that she shows up on the Knots Landing spinoff. Maybe that actress got it. That, okay, this whole episode.
Okay, so I
Oh,
the weird is like 5 minutes ago, Pam was pregnant and happy about it. And now she's like, I don't want a baby. I want to work at the department store.
do you think Pam is being a fashion designer?
I don't know, because that's
She had
another thing too.
sketches.
They have sketches, and it's like, that's not how, like, being a shop girl, like, before they established that she just worked at the department store.
I know.
And now she's like, and that's another thing that's been inconsistent, because first the woman's like, you can have a job anytime you want, and then
Mhm.
Pam's like, do you think you can hide, like, who's pursuing who, and
I know.
how high stakes is it, and like, what is the job, and like, why are you looking at sketches when you're running the cash register?
Sketches.
And
And her outfit.
paper.
This was the first sighting of pants under a dress that we've seen.
I actually really liked that. It was very Rhoda
I
Morgenstern.
did too. She
I
had some
liked
kind of
it.
thing here. It
Yeah,
was a nice change from just a white turtleneck. I liked it.
I am not trying to tell folks to wear a bra or not wear a bra. The jiggle doesn't bother me, but I don't want to see your nipples through your clothes. And there are so many dresses, especially that boxy, like the straight across neckline white
Hmm.
thing that she wore, where it was just like her nipples were just like visible through it the entire time.
I
I don't
know.
want to see, and to be fair, to be clear, I also don't want to see a man's nipples through his
No.
shirt. Like, commit. If you're going to show your nipples, just go topless. If you're not going to show your nipples, then, wear clothes and figure that out. It's the in between for me.
I agree.
Just either show your nipples or don't, because the whole time I'm going, are those your nipples or not? I can't tell. And that to me is just unnecessary mental energy. I just want to know, are those your nipples or not? Either take it off and go topless, or put on an undershirt, a camisole, a band-aid, something.
I know. And they always find an excuse. Everyone swims a lot. The women like to swim on Dallas.
All of a sudden, like, they did it a little bit, but now in like 2 episodes, it was Pam, Sue Ellen, and Lucy in bathing suits. Like, it's Fast Times at Southfork High. All of a
It's like,
sudden, yep, yep,
okay, so what I mean,
the
the
baby.
baby. The baby. It was like Sue Ellen Gold. I had been waiting, and then when they bonded over being beauty pageant
I
contestants.
recognized that actress from somewhere, and I couldn't place her. It was driving me crazy, and I forgot to look it up.
Yeah, we should look up who that was. I don't know who that was, but
I recognized
oh,
her.
and this is a note I wrote. Oh my gosh, the saxophone usage. The soundtrack was
It was intense. It was
when
very
she went to
jazzy.
that apartment, we had the jazzy.
And it looks like Three's Company. You know what I was thinking was that she was because that was a nice apartment.
It was nice.
I was thinking she was gonna be like, well, if this is where I'm living, then I can afford a baby and I can have a baby. You know what I mean? I thought she was gonna
Hmm.
renege on the deal.
Yeah, I figured I knew she would disappear somehow, but I didn't see it coming. You'd think I would. I'm like 10 episodes in with JR and I still didn't see it coming.
I was kind of hoping, like, sending her to they don't fully bake things. Going back to if we were writing this, and I'm so spoiled with Grey's Anatomy, I want you to fully bake it. So, okay, I get it. Like, this is not going to end well. But instead of putting, like, we meet her, that we're introduced to this whole concept, Sue Ellen loses her damn mind, like,
Hmm.
my baby. And then you send the baby's mother to California, all in the same episode. I really was hoping that this would draw out a little bit, that Sue Ellen would be secreting this girl away. This would go on for a couple
Oh,
episodes.
oh,
Have
oh.
the baby, And JR arranges to have it like stolen from the maternity ward.
Oh, please. If we were writing it, that's what I would have. And then Sue Ellen could have a breakdown
Thank
and go to that
you.
place where Digger Barnes was.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
the row of just beds in a room with people moaning.
And they've got the DTs. They're all
They all do.
and it's like the drunk ward with the like gate.
Wow.
Like, yeah, but I wanted, like, if you're gonna do that and be that diabolical, like, we had a 2-episode arc for Gary and Val. I want a 2-episode at least arc where I want Sue Ellen to have the baby, to hold the baby, to think it worked, and then the baby's gone. That's what I wanted.
It deserved it. Yeah, the Val and Gary, we could have done that in one episode. Gary can't read business. He can't handle it. he can't read a document. So he has to go. And then we get so little of this juicy storyline. And
terrific, but to me it was the most interesting and compelling storyline thus far.
Oh, I totally agree. And the chemistry with Sue Ellen and Cliff.
Oh my God. So here's my theory.
Wow, it was good.
So here's if I'm writing it, 2 things might happen. And so neither of them are going to happen because the show's writing could be so much better. So number 1, Sue Ellen got pregnant. She doesn't know if it's Ray's or JR.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, she doesn't know. And yeah. Ray, side conversation for later. Ray.
Ray. We can have a sex about who's Ray fucking this week. God. But the other thing is, yeah, Sue Ellen gets, and that chemistry with Cliff, like maybe because Sue Ellen's always like, she's a Barnes, not a Ewing about Pam. What if she has a baby and it's a Barnes and it's a secret? That would be so good. So good. But then finally JR wants to fuck her, and I'll give you this. I don't find JR attractive. I don't find Sue Ellen attractive.
Neither.
Oh my God. When they were having their angry, I don't want you sex, and he's kissing on her neck, that was making me feel some type of way.
I thought it was pretty good too, because I felt like at first I thought, well, is this going to make me feel, icky and bad? But they're both kind of bad people.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I don't have to feel, no, they deserve each other almost. They suit each other.
Right.
So I was fine with it. I thought it was a good scene, actually. I really did.
It was, I'm not going to lie.
Because I find neither of them attractive.
Right. But when they got it on, and there's something about the neck, the way he went for that neck, he was like so hungry. And we haven't seen that kind of like actual sex. And to me, I was like, that was straight up like villain sex. That was like, yeah, like you're both villains. And that's why I wanted, to me, Sue Ellen is getting more interesting because she is a villain to me. And so it was sort of this like, who's going to best each other chess game. And that's why I didn't feel sorry for her. I mean, I did, but I didn't when the baby thing disappeared, because she and JR are always sparring. But that's also why I wanted this big payoff. Like, I want her to have the like, I want you to ratchet it up. But yeah, when he kissed her neck and she was like, I don't want you. It reminded me, I don't know if you watch Sex in the City, but there's this moment in the elevator where Carrie and Big are together after they've like blown up and all this stuff. And he's trying to kiss her and she's like, fuck you. And he kissed her and she, fuck you. Kiss her, fuck you. And then she's like, fuck me. That's what it felt like. Like, I don't want you. And then he tries to kiss her in the morning, and she's not having it. So I don't know. I was here for it.
I think that they are the best characters. That was the best episode so far. They are the best.
I agree.
And Pam stood up for herself a little bit in the episode, which I liked. I liked Bobby and Pam saying we're not, and I loved it when Pam said to her friend, it's just a disagreement. I'm still going to do what I want. And I was like, okay, I like that at least.
Give that. That's also not the same person who went to Morgan. Like,
no,
if I go to Morgan Fairchild's apartment and she is wearing a robe and my husband is there, like, I'm not going to fight. You can have him. I don't want him now.
That's what I want.
I have never understood that whole like I gotta make him want me more. Like, don't
No,
take my man Jolene. Fucking take him. I don't want him.
take him if he's that. And for Miss Ellie could have had Digger, by the way, her true love.
And Digger wouldn't be as broken as he is now.
Right.
Like Digger probably, I would like them to do some sort of flashback or Digger.
I want a flashback so bad. I want a prequel desperately.
I
A
know,
flashback.
or Digger maybe gets his like gets his act together at least for a time, and then we at least get some time where Digger and Miss Ellie are walking around. They had a little bit of the barbecue, but not enough. I want to get a sense of like who they were and who Digger was and what he lost and why that gave him a breakdown, because he lost everything. He lost his best friend, he lost his girl, he lost his future, and then he had a breakdown. But I want to see shades of old Digger.
I would love a flashback. I would love to see. Oh, and see now, if it was a Netflix series, we would get a flashback for
I don't
sure.
think they had the technology back then to
Yeah,
make them look younger.
they could have recast them.
Oh, that's true too. They could
That
have
would
had
have
like
been
a,
really fun. Have
yeah.
Oh, I would like uh, someone get on the phone with Netflix because I want a pre-Dallas. I want a mini series of the whole thing.
Oh my
That would
God.
be so good.
Yeah.
And now with better writing and did you go graze when Jock was in the operating room?
I'm so glad you said that because I kept meaning to talk about this. So I did go Grays, and here's what I actually preferred over Grays. I know this is blasphemy. I didn't realize, because I'm just desensitized and been watching it for so long,
Hmm.
how realistic and unnecessarily realistic I think they make the medical procedures. Like, I don't need to see all that. I like watching the machine, and I like seeing the doctor and his hands are doing things. Like pull a bloody sausage out of somebody and put it in a bowl.
And over the past 2 years, Grace has become more realistic with that.
And I
I
don't
don't need
care.
it. I
And
don't care.
that's gotta cost a lot of money. I would rather you spend that money on bringing April or Arizona back.
Yeah, give Japril whatever they want. Give them just gold. Give them gold. I want them back. Yeah, I don't need that blood on the floor. Maybe occasionally, like with Schmidt, that was important that we saw that blood. But
Yeah,
no, on a day-to-day surgery, no.
I
I was
don't need the
happy with the Jock
camera.
thing.
Me too. I don't need the camera in the body. Like put the camera on the actors. Don't put the camera in the carnage. Like, I don't why am I looking at that? And I knew that I had to look away a lot in Grey's Anatomy more and more in the
Mm.
last few years, but it didn't really register until I was watching the scene with Jock, and I was like expecting to see his fucking heart. And I was glad that I didn't. I was like, oh yeah, you don't have to show that.
And it was good. Yeah, it made the point. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though I was sad about his recovery, it made the point. It
You
was
know what I
good.
was sad about? Like, okay, so there's this beautiful moment, probably the best acting we've seen on the show, is when Jock says, I love you. And
That
Miss
was good.
Ellie has that big gasp cry thing because he doesn't tell her that. And it also conveys how frightened he is. But then she doesn't say it back.
That was strange too. She said nothing. Nothing. And I liked the moment Barbara Bel Geddes earned her money when she did that. And then when she said to the kids, I need some time by myself.
And then she
That
cried.
was good. That was good. But
She wins the Dennehy for that
yeah,
episode.
I would give her the Dennehy for sure because that she did well leaning on that pole. That was good. And
Yeah.
and Sue Ellen with that needlepoint. I wanted to see her needlepoint though. I remember doing needlepoint.
My mom did make a point. Yeah, like, yeah, Sue Ellen, like, and it probably says something like, I'm the head bitch now. I
I
mean,
bet it does.
the way that she's like, God, she is like a Tennessee Williams play unto
Oh,
herself. The way that she's walking and dancing with the glass around the staircase was so.
oh, Oh, if we hadn't had the crying scene, that would be the Dennehy Award. That's the runner up.
Yeah, that is the runner up.
When she went up and down that staircase.
And then Pam is just like, what the fuck are you doing? I feel like Pam was the audience in that moment. Like, what is wrong with you? Like,
And I like that Sue Ellen didn't even get too embarrassed. No. She just sipped her whatever she drinks all day. It was a great moment because I didn't connect. She was visualizing herself as the queen of the manor.
Yeah.
I thought she was reliving her pageant days, and I went, "Oh, it was Tennessee Williams. You're right. It was straight out of Tennessee Williams.
It was straight out.
Brian Dennehy could have made the most of that.
And Brian Dennehy in a big rose, like a big like Sunset Boulevard rose. But what's funny to me is how nonchalant Miss Ellie is about Sue Ellen, like being so diabolical. She's walked out, she was like, nobody's gonna take over. Like, I was like, who do you think you are? Miss Ellie's like, nah, I don't even care about you. Like, blah blah blah.
It was so funny. I'm so glad we remembered that moment because that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was a runner up to the Dennehy for sure. But yeah, the Dennehy, it goes to, I think the Dennehy goes to Gary's suit in the episode where he leaves.
Thank you.
Goes to Gary's suit. Also, I can't remember if it was the same episode where Lucy slapped JR.
Oh, that was a moment, dude. That was good. Moment. And when Lucy tells JR about Sue Ellen's phone message, they are two of a kind.
Lucy is such a bitch.
She has no friends her own age.
She doesn't deserve to be statutory raped. But but yeah, she's like, yeah, his name is Buzz, blah, blah, blah. He called, Sue Ellen rented an apartment. And the thing is, she's doing like her behavior. She's JR packaged in like this gorgeous package, and she's doing it with such glee. Like, she drives, she's crazy, so bouncy about it. She's like, I'm going to fuck up their lives. I'm like, oh man.
When Ray had to tell her when Jock had the heart attack, and she goes out to see Ray, and then Ray had to say, "Why don't you think about your grandpa?" I don't want to get old. I don't want to get
feel alive. And Ray goes, so does Jock.
I know. One of the only time he's ever turned any of these women down.
Because I think even Ray is like over her. You know what I mean? Like, you're a baby and you're like, and she's so selfish. Like, she's so selfish.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So Ray has slept with all of the younger women, everybody with Miss Ellie.
Oh, right. Because
he and Pam had a relationship, a prior relationship. Now Sue Ellen. And like when he pulled up, I thought, oh, okay, I know.
You know what I was thinking is maybe it was going to be like they were going to do it, and then JR was going to drive up, or somebody was going to drive up, and she was going to cry assault. That's what I thought.
Oh, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah,
that's good.
I thought they're not going to like this. Somebody's going to see that they're right on the open, like that house. Because when they first gave the tour to him, that house is right across from the main house. So I was like, there's no reason, because it seemed crazy to me that they were smooching in open. So I was thinking they're doing this so they can get caught. That's like, they've written it this way. And I was waiting for them to get caught and then Sue Ellen to lie her way out of it. And maybe that's when Ray, like, finally Ray's held accountable for something he didn't do. I thought that would be a good arc, even though it'd be hard to watch. But no.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have time. They had to get to baby buying and everything. It's like, no, we'll have another season where that'll happen.
Yeah, because
we've got that plot in it. The writers have their own red folder with that plot line in it, but they're going to save it.
So nice.
I hope we see more Sue Ellen. I want more Sue Ellen. She's crazy. She's drunk half the time.
Yeah.
She's just nutty.
she's nutty, and it's to me that plan of like she tried to out Jr. And
That was it.
I think that's kind of what turned him on in a way. Like you, yeah, you went and you tried to buy a baby, it didn't work out, but like that was kind of hot.
And the people are saying, "How are you going to explain it?" Don't worry about that. I can handle a baby.
It'll be too late. She's gonna show with a baby.
Yeah, that's what it was. It'll be too late.
It'll be too late. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Or like maybe she gets the baby and then JR gives it to Pam. Like, I don't know. Like, I just, man, there were so many ways that could have gone sideways and could have been a really good arc. And I just felt like they wasted it.
Yeah, but she's got more coming. They set so much in place for her.
Yeah, but are they gonna like cash this?
Oh,
That's the thing. Like, they'll
I need less Bobby. Like Bobby can come in for required robe appearance. I don't need less Bobby. I need more Sue Ellen and JR. And I really don't remember for sure, but I'm hoping that the writers will see, oh, that's more to do. We can have these cute, pretty people just pop in.
Yeah.
Design some fashions for whatever that store is.
I'm still, oh my God. And everybody's running around. They must have like bought a whole bunch of big paper because everybody's got sketches and maps. Everybody has sketches and maps running around. But
Lucy never opens a book. What is Miss Ellie? Oh, what about the luncheon? What about the luncheon meeting?
Oh, there were two.
There were two luncheons meetings.
We got the hospital call.
And the one before, do you think that lady in the blue dress who disagreed? And then Sue Ellen later said, it was nice of you to agree. Do you think that was Brian Dennehy? Because we never saw the face.
I thought the woman who disagreed, because it looks like, I was thinking that too. Who is that? Who is that?
And we never saw her.
I think that was Pam. If you go back and watch it again, because I had the same thought. I was like, who's this person? Because are you talking about the person who's like, she's on the left and she's in the foreground?
Yeah, she looks older because Pam is beside her, right?
I thought, I'll go back and look.
We have to look, and because it was like a gray-headed person.
Oh,
she said something like, Brian Dennis, he said something like, my husband doesn't like to dance. They were going to have a dance.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I was thinking because Pam doesn't vote, or you don't see her hand raised.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's what you meant. The person who doesn't, because I didn't recognize it as Pam because her back was turned. Guys, stop! My cats are fighting.
Oh, so maybe that was what Sue Ellen was referring to. Said, "Nice of you to agree with us," or something. She's always, but that they never showed that blue. And then they emphasized her because then later, my husband doesn't like to dance. And then the dance why did we need that moment? And then they showed that person voting. That's why I think that is Brian Denny, because for some reason, we spent time on that.
We spent time on it. And that was probably, you know what that might have been somebody who's like, the grandmother of a producer. And they're like, let's just apart, let her have a line, because now I remember what you're talking about.
It was like something. My husband doesn't like to dance.
And then they're like, we don't care.